Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Saturday today. I have no idea where the weeks go. It just seems like it was Monday or Tuesday and I was saying it's Tuesday today and I'm here with a sketch challenge. But no, here it is Saturday already. And today I'm going to share a card. I'm on a kick to use up designer series paper. I have so much. I'm guessing you have a lot too. And so the card I'm going to make today uses some of that designer series paper. And I have to say, it's based on a sketch that I'm in a blog hop coming up. We aren't allowed to use the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine or dies. You can use punches, but you can't use any dies or embossing folders. Anything that uses the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, you can't use for this blog hop. So I struggle with it at times because if you follow me, you know I tend to have a die cut somewhere on my card. Anyway, but I decided when I first looked at this sketch, it boggled my mind because I was immediately into doing the math. And I'll show you where I was going with it. But then I realized there's an easy way to make this kind of card. So enough chatter. I'm going to switch over and I'm going to show you what I'm going to use, and then we'll get on with making the card. All right. Oops. Let's see. There we go. So I'm going to use the gorgeously made stamp set. Now this is a bundle. I'm not using the die cuts for this, even though I really like the die cuts, but I'm going to use the sentiments from this stamp. Hello. I'm not sure who's saying hello. Don't forget to go in and use give StreamYard permission on Facebook. So go to streamyard.com/Facebook. Then I can see your name. And then this is the paper. It's absolutely stunning paper. Hey, Nancy. It's like if you've done mixed media in the past where you're layering, and I'm not sure you can actually see this, but there's actually stamped words. And then it's like you've gone over it with multiple layers of ink and paint and things like that, which is what you typically do in mixed media. But so the designer series paper is definitely bright. This is my actual favorite piece. I love the pretty peacock and berry burst together. Just so pretty. So I've cut a piece that's 3 3/4 by 5. Now the sketch had it looking like there were blocks. So I was immediately trying to figure out how I could cut 6 blocks of an even size to make a card. But here's what I come up with so that it's so much easier. This is cut 3 3/4 by 5. And the reason I did that is because I want to layer it. Oops, actually by 5. I need to cut that a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Now it's 3 3/4 by 5. So I want to layer it a little bit. I want with the berry burst. And I'm going to have it on a basic white. This is thick basic white cardstock. I just love the white and that pop of berry burst. Now, I want to create 6 equal shapes from this. Well, here, look at what I can do. I've cut a piece of 1/4 inch strip. I think that's 1/4 inch. Let's try this one. So that one's looking a little wide. 1/4 inch. I'm going to trim these, of course. And then I've got another strip of 1/4 inch. Look at this. And I can layer these on. And I now have 6 equal pieces, and I didn't have to hurt my brain doing any math. I think that's just, I don't know. I thought that was brilliant as I was trying to struggle and trying to figure out how to cut 6 equal shapes from my designer series paper, which is what I wanted to use, that would fit on this piece of 4 inch by 5 1/4. All right, how easy can that be? Okay, my card base is I think, yeah, 4 1/4 by 11. So I'm going to score it at 5 1/2. Fold into the mountain or that raised line and burnish it with your bone folder. I like, I don't know, I don't use a white cardstock very much, but I do like it, especially when you've got a pop of color. Okay, so you need 3 strips of whatever color you're going to use to create your basically window panes. Now I'm going to use my grid paper And I'm going to use just a piece of Post-it note tape to put this on my grid paper. Just in the corner, just so it doesn't move around like that. And then I've got 3 pieces of basic white cardstock. You can use whatever color. Thanks, Pam. Yeah, I thought it was genius. Now, probably before I cut that, oh, I can't. I was going to say I probably should have my silicone mat, but I used my silicone mat yesterday and it still isn't clean from when I had the, if you watched, I was using embossing paste. So I'm going to use just a little bit of liquid glue. And if I was smart, I would have my silicone mat here so the glue doesn't get all over. Now, this is 3 3/4. So half of it would be 2. But since I have got 1/4 of an inch, I'm kind of just estimating that that's kind of my half. And so the grid paper helps you to layer. And you may have to use your scissors to cut this off or trim a little bit if you get glue. All right, and then I've got another piece. Now, this is 5 inches and 5 divided by 3. So I guess you do have to do a little bit of math, but I'm going to try and just estimate. So if I lay my strips roughly where I think they need to go, like that's not it. That's closer, but I still think it's not. Eyeballing, that's closer. Like that. This strip's bothering me. It's wider. Let's try this one. They're supposed to be 1/4 inch strips. At least that's what I thought I was cutting. Okay, so that's pretty close. I'm just eyeballing it to get it roughly where I need them to go. Now, if you're using liquid glue, it'll give you a little bit of wiggle room to shift them around should you get them in the wrong spot. That's pretty close. And my lines are helping me line them up. Okay, pretty good. Hey, Mern. All right, so I'm going to take this, like I said. Oh, not too bad. And now, oops, that one shifted a little bit. So you do have to remember that the liquid glue doesn't dry immediately. So kind of let it dry. I pulled that off too quick. And now I can just take and trim off the excess. I did think about using, instead of the white designer series paper, I was going to flip over this designer series paper. Yeah, I just thought it was a little too busy for that, and then have that pretty peacock. And then I decided the white was going to kind of just give it a pop of color, or make the other colors pop, I guess. Okay, now I got glue on my hands. All right, I don't think there's a right and wrong way, although there are words on this one, so sometimes you can't really read the words underneath this, but it might bother some people if you give them a card and the words, they can kind of just barely, oops, I'm supposed to be putting this, oh no, that is on the right one. I was thinking that was my card base. It's not. Berry burst. Okay, there's my berry burst. And this piece. So you can put ribbon on. I'm going to use some linen thread. I'm going to put just a sentiment and some embellishments on here, guys. So it's going to be a pretty simple card. Like that. Okay. So there's my card. Quick and easy way to create panels. Now, I have a piece of 3/4 inch by 4. Now, I'm just going to put this on the bottom. Normally, I would put a piece of cardstock as a base or a layer in there, but because it's basic white, I don't need to. So I'm just going to put this down at the bottom like that. And now I got sticky. I don't like this sticky, so I'm just going to fold that over, that grid paper. Okay, so I do need a sentiment with this. So I've got a piece of, now these are quite thin. So I'm going to use the thank you sentiment. And I've got this piece of basic white. It's just a scrap that from when I was cutting. In fact, oh no, it's just a scrap. I was thinking it was from the card base, but it's not. But it was a scrap from when I was cutting these strips. Now I'm just going to see how straight. Not very. Okay, so let's. I always stamp on my grid paper when I'm doing a sentiment, because sometimes actually I want a little bit wider. Sometimes your stamp, and I can actually see that my sentiment, the stamp, what's the word I'm trying to? The label is not actually straight. So I always try and stamp. Now I'm just going to take this and cut on an angle. Roughly, you could cut it and do it exact if you wanted to. That one, not too bad. All right, so that's just going to go in the middle. And then I've got this linen thread. So this is, I'm just going to wrap this around and, oopsie, wrap it around my hand and then pinch it in the middle. And use, she says, confidently, use some Stampin' Seal. Huh. If you were Stampin' Seal, where would you have gone to? I just used it the other day and... Huh. Okay, well, no Stampin' Seal, so we will use a glue dot. So I'm just going to take a glue dot, stick my twine, and I'm going to put it at an angle because I've got my layer, my thank you, to go over top of it like that. Use some dimensionals. Staggering my dimensionals when you've got a piece that's kind of long. You don't want it to be wobbly. And it will go right across the middle like that. Now, I wasn't sure what embellishments to use, but I grabbed the iridescent rhinestones. They're always great. I don't think I have any of, oh, I do have a few left of the largest size. I was saying this the other day, I always use the large rhinestones first, and clearly it's a trend that's continued with the iridescent rhinestones. They do come in 3 colors, or 3 sizes. So I'm going to just use 2 of the big ones and 1 of the medium size, which is why I end up with all of the little ones left. There we go. So there is, I think, a quick and easy way for creating some kind of window panes on a card, so that you don't have to kind of hurt your head doing math to get these squares cut to be sizes that will fit on your card base, not on the inside. So that is the gorgeously made stamp set, and Masterfully Made is the name of the suite with the designer series paper. So that paper is called Masterfully Made. You know, I think that some people, it's kind of bright, and I'm one of those that kind of ignored it, but I really love this this paper now that I've been playing with it. It's kind of that way, isn't it? Thanks, Pam. Yeah, it is pretty paper. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great day. The sun is coming out here where I am, so hopefully it's not a bad day where you are. And it was looking like it was going to rain here, but looks like it's getting a little bit better. So hopefully you'll be able to get out and about, or maybe time to spend some time in your craft room. Don't forget that I'm going live tomorrow at 12 noon, so come and join me for another project. Hope you have a great day. Happy stamping. Bye.